too old for this. I know we missed, we were 0 for 6 from the free throw line down the stretch. And then we had 2 possessions with the shot clock down that we ran wrong. So, we kind of dodged a bullet, but, great win for our team. Because I've told our guys that, if you're ever even going to think of trying to win a championship or compete for a championship in this league, you're going to have to beat a BU, you're going to have to beat a Stony Brook, you're going to have to beat a Vermont, an Albany, so on and so forth. And, I don't know the last time UNH has won here. It's been a long...
94.
1994? Yeah, so...
18 games.
18 years. I had way more hair then, and I was, younger, way younger. But you know what? We played terrific in the first half. I thought our toughness, for us to come in here and win, it was about our toughness and our competitiveness and, defensively handling them in the glass. And I thought our defense in the first half was terrific. And then one of the problems that we have as a team is we just have a hard time putting 40 minutes together. And the first 5-6 minutes of the second half, they scored 3 layups, easy buckets when they didn't get anything easy in the first half. I think they got up 4 or 6 on us. It looks like they were going to kind of, but give our kids credit. We kind of hung tough, and if we make free throws down the stretch, I think it's a little bit more comfortable at the end. But we made plays, when we had to. I think we had some big offensive rebounds in the second half. Just really proud of my kids. They just fought. They fought. And this time of year, I don't care what league you're in, what conference in the country, we've won back-to-back road games right now. I don't care, to win on the road back-to-back at this time of the year is really, really big. And we're still fighting to try to climb this ladder and try to get a higher seed. And, I think this, every win now we only have 2 conference games left, but every win here at the end of the year is very important. So.
Coach, there was only one run in the game. It was 10-2, and your guy, Myrick, scored 8 of those 10.
Yeah.
Do you know the sequence I'm talking about?
Yeah. I think we went to him. We were trying to go. We were running this little, we call it triangle, where we kind of screen him into the post, and they were doing a lot of switching. I think he had a couple of mismatches in there. He's a talented kid. He can really. He last year here, if you were here, he had a really bad injury. He ruptured his patella tendon. It was a bad injury, and he's just finally kind of coming back. Believe it or not, like the second half of this year, kind of playing like he did before he got hurt. He's a hard matchup because he can score around the bucket. He made a big 3, I think, in that run. And we just tried to go to him. We're not a power inside team. Like, we just can't. Like Dominic Morris and they're big. We just can't throw it around the basket a lot. But we kind of thought we had a mismatch. They were playing a little bit smaller. Malik Thomas was playing the 4, and we thought we could take advantage of some of that.
Did this game mean a little bit more to Ferg? I know late in the game he was sort of going back and forth with Darryl, and obviously last year, with his season ending and just being a sophomore, coming back and having a big second half.
Yeah. I don't think it was. He didn't play. He had 2 fouls early, so he hardly played in the first half. I just couldn't let him get his 3rd. And then about when Darryl Parton, I think Parton had 2 at the half. And what I told the kids in the locker room at halftime, I said is, this kid's had unbelievable second halves. He had 8 at Albany and then 25 in the second half, and basically, single-handedly almost won the game at 33. And I told our kids that at halftime. I said, this kid's not going away. He's an all-league player. And then he went on a roll, and then Ferg came over and said, listen, let me go on him. And, which I give Ferg a lot of credit for even suggesting that. And he did a pretty good job on him. He's long. Ferg's 6'6", 6'7". He's a long kid. But, yeah, he played well. I'm proud of him.
The last 24 times you faced BU, you've lost 20 of them. And but even though you've lost 20 of them, they've always been close. What is it about BU that makes it such a close game every time?
Yeah, they've been close, I think, recently. I think we kind of play somewhat similar styles. In a way of like tough defensively. We had a great win against them last year at home, and we held them to 48 points. But you know what? That started their 11. They didn't lose the rest of the year, if you remember that. and obviously went on and won the league. We played well here last year when we came, and same thing. John Holland did not have a good first half, then he went crazy on us in this. I can't remember what the spread was, but I think we were up at the half. And then our first game this year up at UNH, we came back. I think we were down 8 or 10, and we had a 3 at the Patrick Coney had a 3 that he missed. We lost by 2. I don't know. I think it's just two teams. We know how good they are, and they're a measuring stick. I think like I said, if we're going to even think about, we're playing pretty good right now, though. We're playing well. But if we're ever going to even think of winning a championship, and I keep telling my kids this, at some point, whether it's the first round, second round, or in a final game, you're going to have to beat one of these teams. So, we fought. We're getting tougher. We're figuring out, I think, the competitive and the toughness aspect that you need to play this game with. I think they're starting to learn that. I thought we made a lot of tough plays down the stretch. I know it wasn't pretty. The execution wasn't great. We had some great switches at the end defensively and had some great defensive stops. Even the last one, I think, Ferg switched on to DJ Herrion, and usually he gets down that right lane, man, he's a killer. And Ferg made a great play on him, and I think kind of distracted the shot.
Coach, you mentioned Dom Morris about 5 minutes ago, and with his physical frame and with his skill set, just how big of an impact was he tonight? And is that really the most aggressive that you've seen him play in the 4 times that you've played against him?
Well, I mean, early in the game, I think he had about 4 or 5 offensive rebounds in the first 5 minutes of the game. He was killing us on the glass right out of the gates. We're not a physical team up front. The kid Benson, is long. He's had a great year for us, but he's not a physical kid. He's more of a kind of a long finesse. And when he gets overmatched, I thought Dominic Morris, at the half, he had 9 and 7. He had a great first half. I don't know what he ended up with. But he's a handful. He's a strong, physical kid. He's a tough matchup. We doubled them. Our game plan coming in was to double Morris and to double Hazel when either guy got it on the block, immediately. I thought our doubles were pretty good from what we just got it out of the post pretty good.
You guys have really struggled here shooting the three-point shot. I think it was 1 of 29 a couple of years ago in a big blowout. In this one, BU missed all 9 of their attempts in the second half, 2 of 22. Was that something you guys did defensively, or was it just bad luck?
No, you know what? We've believe it or not, we kind of changed our man-to-man defense about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. We were too spread out early in the year, and we were getting beat a lot on penetration, and we just didn't have the basket. Now we've kind of packed it in a little bit more. Mike, I used to be an assistant here from '85 to '90 with Mike Jarvis. I was his assistant here for 5 years, and we used, and I talked to Mike a lot, and I called him about a month ago and said we used to run we called it a keyhole defense where we just pack everybody in the paint, and that's kind of what we've gone back to, and it's really helped us. No, we weren't giving the 3 up, but you know what? They missed a lot of open threes. Griffin, missed some wide open threes on us, and but that's kind of the gamble. Like, we're not a physical team, so we got to protect the paint and the basket more. So I think you're going to probably give up more perimeter shots. I think it was more than just missing, as opposed to our defense. I think. Okay.
Look like a standing 2